the Dallas Cowboys outgained the New York Giants quarterback by Tommy DeVito yesterday by 468 yards. It was the biggest difference in total yardage in an NFL game in 44 years.
TJ, small bone to pick with your team yesterday, right? Okay. So I have the Dallas D in fantasy.
Me too.
Come on now. We can't get a couple more turnovers. We can't get a pick six on Tommy DeVito. You're giving up a touchdown with 2 seconds left. Yeah. That knocks off 4 more points off your fantasy score.
Hey, I had him too.
Angry gambler.
I had him too. I feel you. We only had 5 sacks.
Oh, Andrew, you know we covered that minus 17. Come on, dog.
I was expecting a pick six.
Andrew, what are we dealing with right here?
Did you see Tommy DeVito's old man in the stands with the "That's your bleeping fourth and three" play?
By the way, it's hard to really say, like, somebody, when you see someone, you know they're from New York. But the second that man was shown on TV, I didn't realize it was dead. I just went, oh, that dude's from New York. And then it turned out it was Tommy DeVito.
I grew up with his mother.
Did you know that, Andrew?
She's from my hometown.
Yes, I remember this.
I didn't like people yesterday getting on Tommy about, like people that never set foot on a football field, oh, he's getting his buck, like all the Giants fans. I'm like, you guys, you couldn't get on a field with these players, let alone do what this kid's doing.
I'm happy for Tommy, but let's tell the truth. Tommy was a good college quarterback.
Yeah,
he was better at Illinois than his.
He was better at Illinois. Like when he got on the field as a freshman, a little bit late in the season, if I recall my SU timeline correctly, he throws a nice deep ball, like, oh, okay, this kid can play a little bit. Like, you're excited. Then it never really came together. Garrett Schrader pushed him out, and he went to Illinois, and he finished his career there. And, honestly, it was the defense that got all the attention last year in Champaign. It was all those guys who got drafted. You had the Brown brothers. Chase was a pretty darn good running back at one point late in the season a year ago who's leading the country in rushing. But really, it was the defense that got the attention. No one looked at that Illinois team last year and like, man, Tommy DeVito is going to be starting at AT&T Stadium week 10. Tell you that. But I'm happy for Tommy, and I'm happy his family was there, and I'm with you, Del Tufo. Like, leave the kid alone. This team's awful. They're fighting on the sideline.
It's
they're bad. To quote Peter Griffin back in the day on Family Guy, they're circus ugly. They're not a good team, right? And Tommy DeVito's doing his best. Look, they lost 40-0 at home with Daniel Jones week 1 when they had 6 months to get ready. So they lose here with Tommy DeVito on the road against a Cowboys team that is winning by an average of 30 at home, and they've won 12 in a row at home dating back to last year. Tommy DeVito was not going to win that game, but his dad's reaction on that 4th and 3 was because when it was 7-0, they picked off Dak. Cordell Flott with the pick, and they get great field position, and they go for it on 4th down, and Saquon gets stuffed. Well, why don't you let Tommy DeVito throw? Saquon's your best football player. You put it in his hands, period. Well, the Cowboys also knew that, so they figured it out. It didn't work. Like, you had that fleeting moment, maybe they punch it in here. Maybe Tommy DeVito's going to make this a game. Maybe I'm not going to spend my entire afternoon watching Lions-Chargers. No, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. And I feel for Tommy, and I feel for Brian Daboll. Didn't mean to get off on a rant here about the Giants. However, Brian Daboll's a better coach than this, but from the outside, it looks like it's falling apart. Here's what happened in New York. They were clearly ahead of schedule on their rebuild. Joe Schoen, the Giants GM, when he took over last year, kind of sort of said, hey, guys, there's not a lot here. This may take a little bit. And then they made the playoffs, and then they won a playoff game. And then they had the contract issues with Saquon and Daniel Jones, and they did the right thing. They paid the quarterback. That's what you do. Well, now they're bad. And now, probably, if you give them truth serum, Daboll and Joe Schoen would say, we were a little ahead of schedule here. Let's give us a little bit of grace here, will you? Because we gave you something last year that none of us expected. Let us get back there. But when you see Darius Slayton and Sterling Shepard going out on the sideline a little bit, it's ugly.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.